We live in an ever-changing world, and sometimes that change even means entirely new countries just popping up. Here are 10 countries that could exist in the next 10 years or so from now. Welcome guys, I'm Leroy Kenton, and this is another episode of FTD Facts. And now, similar to our video on the countries that could collapse, this one is also not saying that this will be the case, but rather based on issues in the world, it could possibly happen sooner than you think. And a question I'm throwing out there is, if you could create a country, what would you name it? Let me know down there. To be honest, if I was to create a country, it would be called FTD Facts. Free education for everyone. Alright, so let's jump in. First up, we have unified Korea. For over 60 years, the region of North and South Korea have been divided by a Korean Demilitarized Zone, or a KDZ. And while they have avoided major conflicts since then, this could really change. Now, whether both nations go to war or have a peaceful agreement, a unified North and South Korea could be formed in the next 10 years, especially with the potential collapse of North Korea's government and economy. Yeah, this could speed up this unification process. The next country that we could see popping up is Scotland. Yeah, although yes, Scotland is a country that is part of the United Kingdom and Great Britain, calls for Scotland to break away from the United Kingdom have actually been growing. Now, there was a failed vote for Scottish independence back in the year 2014. The Scottish people wanted to remain a part of the European Union, but Great Britain made the decision to leave, so Scotland has to as well. So they're like, okay, well, let's just go fully independent then. The third country that could exist is Catalonia. The Catalonian fight for independence is raging, and Catalonia is financially more stable than any other part of Spain, and Catalonians feel that they are being brought down by the rest of the country. Not a great feeling to have. Catalonia also has its own culture and language distinct from the rest of Spain, so yeah, it makes sense for them to want to go and form their own nation. Continuing on into Kurdistan. Now, the Kurdish people in Syria have been in disagreement with the Syrian Arab population for a while, and in 1962, actually, 20% of the Kurdish population in Syria were stripped of their citizenship, and this was after the results of a census. Kurdish people have been seeking their independence for a long time, and this has only recently started to become a probable thing. Halfway in this video, at country number 5 that could exist is Somaliland. Now, Somaliland is a de facto state in northern Somalia. In the 1990s, a civil war broke out in Somalia, and the only part of Somalia that has managed to retain a sense of true order is Somaliland. With its own government, army, and currency, some people even believe that Somaliland is already its own country. Country number 6 is the Flemish Republic. Modern-day Belgium is comprised of 3 administrative regions. In the north, we have the Dutch-speaking majority in Flanders, and then we have Wallonia, which is a French-speaking majority in the south, and also the Brussels capital region. Now, Flanders, of course, can survive on its own, but Wallonia might not be able to. Many are hoping for a referendum really soon. Moving on to country number 7, and that would be Veneto. Recently, the citizens of Veneto voted in favor of greater autonomy from Rome when the referendum in Catalonia was growing. And the Veneto region alone accounts for 10% of the entire country's economy. Next up in this episode, we have Quebec. French speakers in the Canadian province of Quebec in the past have pushed for their own country. But more recently, Quebec has been basing its decision to become independent, all based on the results of the Scottish and Catalan referendums. And Quebec's interest in Catalonian independence really shows that they would like their own movement to gain even more momentum going forward. So who knows, the whole province of Quebec could be its own country. Now, the second last country that we might see is Texas. Now, while the likelihood of an independent Texas is very low, there's still a chance that they could separate from US. One of the major reasons is because Texas has such a rich history and people have always felt a bit independent from the United States. And last is California. So like Texas, another large US state that has entertained the idea of independence is California. Now, California is the most populous state in the US and one of the wealthiest as well. So if this whole Cal exit movement were to be really a thing and were to happen, that would drastically reshape the whole foundation of America as well as the rest of the world. And just like that, that was your 10 countries that could exist in the next 10 years or so. Yeah, let me know down there. I'd love to see what other countries that could possibly be formed. I'll be reading your comments and replying to some of them. And before I head out, this episode is brought to you by TimeBucks.com. And TimeBucks is a website where you can join for free and actually get paid just for joining. And you also get paid for doing things that you do online on a regular basis, like watching videos, looking at photos, participating in polls and surveys, and even sharing content on social media. Again, the link is down below where you can join TimeBucks.com for free and start making money. Hey guys, and we reached the end of another episode, so you definitely want to check out this playlist of all the different countries and cities that we cover here on FTD Facts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if this is your first time here for new videos every single day.